Hey everybody, this is Jerichos, and welcome to my brand new Let's Play. I'm going to be playing a quirky platformer named Puppeteer with a rather interesting story. Why don't we let the narrator take it away?
Come one, come all, to the most phenomenal, most extraordinary, most unimaginable puppet show you've ever experienced. Prepare for an astonishing adventure full of mystery, full of danger, and full of artistry, meant to astound the eye and capture the human soul. The name's Professor Gregorius T. Oswald. But my friends, and we're all friends here, call me G. Today's fantastical tale is the perilous journey of a boy named Kutaro.
Puppeteer is a very strange game done in the style of a stage play. It is extremely vocal heavy, lots of dialogue. I'm going to be doing my best to make sure you get to hear all of it, so my commentary is going to be a little different this time around, but I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be showing off everything this game has to offer, and whoo boy, it has a lot. Let's go ahead and launch right in.
Welcome to the magical theater of the strange and fantastic.
Begin a brand new game. You can have a second player join you.
To all our patrons, to look after your valuables. The theater cannot be held responsible if any of your personal property goes missing.
Ooh, ominous warning. The second player, while not a full player on screen, kind of lends a helping hand. I'll get into more detail about that later. For now, let's just begin one player. And start it up. The perilous adventure of a boy named Kutaro.
Once upon a time, before everything went to rack and ruin, the Moon Realm was ruled by a beautiful goddess. But then, Little Bear, for whom the Moon Goddess had shown nothing but love, stole two of his mistress's precious possessions, the Black Moonstone and a magic pair of scissors known as Calibros. After declaring himself Moon Bear King, he invaded the goddess's castle, smashed the White Moonstone to pieces.
Once upon a time, I once upon a now. This is my Moongees, so just get to the part where I sound good.
Right, yes, of course, of course. Wasn't everyone so very wowed when the Moon Goddess was obliterated? Wasn't it just great that the impressive Moon Bear King gave a piece of the White Moonstone to each of his generals, screwing over the moon at large? Oh yes, the next 3 years were something special. Ah, yes. Now, where do I begin? He was the Moon Realm's ruthless new king, and intended to keep it that way. So night after night he spirited away the souls of children and locked them inside wooden puppets who were doomed to defend Castle Grizzlestein. And while tonight was no exception, it would prove to be quite exceptional.
The poor dearie. Look, Yin-Yang, another day, another soul.
Poor indeed. You're as bad as the tyrant. How many of these children are you planning to parade off to certain mutilation before you realize you're wasting your time?
Why, one more, and then another after that. As many as it takes for me to get my hands on Calibros.
That's nice.
Meet our hapless hero, who's just blinked back to life, firmly in the Moon Bear King's clutches.
Kutaro. Kutaro. Your soul was summoned here at my behest. Kutaro, will you be my friend? Pals to the bitter end.
What a way to start a game. Spirited away with your soul trapped in a puppet and then have your head eaten by a giant bear.
Lovely. Another dunce who left his head in the Moon Bear King's belly. Listen, you're going to drop dead if you go without a head. And I'll be the one stuck with cleanup. Come on, let's find something else you can use. A substitute head.
Yep, we're off to a great start. Now our first mechanic of the game, this is Yin Yang, a flying cat.
Around in there.
We can maneuver him around with the right stick and find objects of interest. When you do, tap the R2 button to investigate and something may happen.
It's a head pot. Perhaps I'll just help myself.
And in fact, for investigating, we get the trophy What the Cat Drags In. This game has a lot of trophies. We're going to show them all off. But to begin with, click on the head pot to get your first substitute head. Since you lost your own, we're going to have to use some other stuff. Like
This should do nicely.
a skull.
You're all set. Remember those head pots. They may be weird, but they flap around with lots of useful heads. But one little touch, and they'll drop their stash. You know, a new kid on the chopping block like you ought to have a couple of noggins at least. Can't take any chances.
And as you saw, we got our second trophy, Recapitated. Pretty appropriate there. But I think one head isn't enough. We should get another one. Investigate the spider web.
There's another one.
And we get our second head,
See? Just like I said.
the spider.
Blast it! What am I doing wrong? Am I not powerful enough?
Uh-oh, look out. Quick, pick up your head.
Yep, go grab the head.
Now, this is extremely important. One false move, and those heads of yours will tumble right off your shoulders. If you don't grab them right away, their magic will fade, and no more head. So remember, if you lose your head, pick it up post-haste.
Yes, our heads are our life meter in this game.
Oh, and one other thing. Moon sparkles. Here, I'll show you.
Every time you get hit, you lose your head. You can have up to 3 at a time, but if you grab the head back, you don't actually lose that head permanently. So as long as you grab it in time, you can keep taking hits. Just be careful not to have it fall off a cliff or get too far away from you. For now, let's find some moon sparkles.
These are moon sparkles. Collect 100 and you'll be able to magically come back to life, even if you do lose all your heads.
Yep,
Let's
these
keep
are new
looking.
extra lives. You can see we've got 5 lives at the moment and 3 moon sparkles. It keeps track for you. Let's find a few more as we go through this room.
The witch's bloomers.
Yeah, that was disturbing. Most objects that you interact with in the environment will produce moon sparkles, though a few will do some other interesting things. For now, just keep investigating, and eventually we'll see something interesting. A puppet.
Keep your eyes peeled for moon sparkles if you want to stay alive.
Roar!
Oh, that Moon Bear King is always angry. Meow, Jehoshaphat! Oh, look there. You see that head symbol? Listen, every head has a little bit of magic to it. They react to places and objects that resemble them. Oh, why don't you just give it a try? Here, first choose the right head.
And this is our other big mechanic of the game, head actions. Use the appropriate head in the appropriate place, and something interesting might just happen. Let's find out what happens with the skull head here.
Now, use the head's meow-jic.
For the record, every head must be used in a specific place to get credit. This is a tutorial, so this one actually doesn't count. But it still does something pretty fun. It dances!
Anyway, keep an eye out for those head symbols. Anything could happen. Meow, look at that. No wonder they're so skinny.
Oh, and he kicks us off the stage.
Oh, what a little darling. Welcome. Please make yourself at home. Go and bring it to me.
I love this effect. You see all these different stages pop up that we're going to have to go through.
You'd better follow that fork. The witch doesn't take kindly to long waits. Watch that feisty fork. It's as wicked as the witch.
It's as wicked as the witch, huh? Well, what's the worst it could do?
Hey, I warned you.
Yep, it knocks your head off.
Pick that up quick. No more heads means no more you. Pass through that shimmering gateway to proceed to the back of the kitchen.
These gateways basically are checkpoints. They'll mark different areas and move you on to the next scene. Make sure to pass through them to progress.
Now, make no mistake. Kuturo was not alone in his plight. The kitchen was already staffed by unfortunates whom the Moon Bear King had plucked from their beds.
And we're about to encounter one of them in particular. There are a trio of wooden puppets. The red-haired one, the yellow-haired one, and the blue-haired one we saw earlier. If you find them in every single place that they're hidden or acting throughout all of the game, you'll get a trophy. This is the longest running trophy in the game, and trust me, they're hidden everywhere. I'll make sure to show off every single one. The first one, hiding inside this cup. There's the blue-haired one. And now we get to move on to the next area.
These children had been charged with keeping the fickle king fed, and it was a miserably hopeless task. After all, his appetite was as vast and insatiable as his lust for power.
Careful. There's this thing about fire and puppets.
Definitely don't touch that when it's red.
You don't want to toast yourself grabbing them.
Wait for it to turn black, and we're good. Oh, but stick around too long, and it turns red again. I don't need that last moon sparkle. We'll just leave it be. Moving onward, we get another mechanic.
Imagine being one of these tykes and spending dusk till dawn getting kneaded and grated, peeled and parboiled, marinated, melted, minced and mashed. Or, if they were lucky, just zested, followed by a light braising.
Yeah, because that's not creepy at all, G. Anyway, we have the roll. You can do this to slide along a little faster than walking and slide under some obstacles. Ooh, he should have rolled. Roll through it ourselves, or just time your walk, and you're good.
I smell something delicious. The witch couldn't have made it.
Indeed. All this fast food sitting here looks pretty good, but for now, ignore it and examine the flower pile for another wooden puppet. Also, let's check out each of these golden spoons for another unique collectible. This giant moon sparkle is called a 100 sparkle, and as the name would imply, it gives you 100 of them, an instant 1-up. They are specifically unique throughout all the stages, and you have to collect all of them. Again, I'll make sure we don't miss any of them. For now, let's check out that food that Yin Yang said smelled so good.
Oh, and that was my lunch. Oh, wait. There's a spark of magic in every head. Got any ideas?
Yes, our third head is a burger with ketchup-painted eyes. That's just weird. Maybe I'm going to go vegetarian after this. But yes, this will be our first head action that will actually count.
There's that head symbol again.
Stand on top of this nice, healthy-looking sandwich, use the burger head action, and watch what happens.
See how using your head can change the world? And I do mean that quite literally.
Yep, it changed it into a burger, which is actually springy. So, bounce up into the gateway.
The witch, in case you're wondering, was a singularly screwy sorceress by the name of Esma Potts. You'd think someone that gifted with a cauldron would know a thing or two about cooking, and you'd be wrong.
Definitely don't want to eat anything she cooks up. Now, before you progress onward, check out this little spot here for the third puppet hanging out. Meanwhile, we just bounce along, and I don't have to collect all those moon sparkles. You want to try and collect them as you go. It's not super urgent to collect every single one, but they do help.
As for Kuturo's catty companion, name of Yin Yang, he used to be the moon goddess's faithful feline. One might say his current mistress was a step down in some regards.
Now we've come across another head pot. These can be helpful if you've taken a hit, lost one of your heads, or if you just want to get a different one. When you investigate it, it'll pop out a random head. Something that you have already found, usually themed to the area you're in, but not always. So let's pop it open and see what we get. Oh, another burger head. And if you already have 3 heads when you grab one, it'll give you an extra 5 moon sparkles. Just, to reward you for not having lost a head. Also, this pot looks different. It's got a unique marking on it. There's something we can do with this, but not yet. We're actually going to have to come back to this stage later in the game after we've, let's say gotten an upgrade. For now, just move onward and remember it's here. I'll bring you back here when the time is right.
Watch out for the vegetables. In this kitchen, the cook is a cook, and the squash are out to squish.
Yep, avoid the food. It's chasing you, but right here you can actually run under the table for a few moon sparkles. I love that. Killer cheese.
Hurry along now, dearies, because lazy boys are the first to get turned into grubs.
Nasty witch. She's just very unpleasant. Now you can fall down here, but don't fall to either of the side paths or you will lose your head.
Come hither, my pretties, so you can get lost. Yin Yang, open the windows. I'm roosting alive from this ghastly heat.
We could open the windows, but instead, let's investigate Esma.
Stop that! It tickles!
Do it a second time,
Stop it!
and thrice and done.
I can't take it anymore! Luna Castle!
And she turns Yin Yang into a carrot. That's right, a flying cat carrot. This game just gets weirder from here on in, folks. I hope you're ready for some strangeness. Now, we'll go ahead and open the windows.
1, 2, 3. What do you think? Meowed by my cat-like reflexes?
Ah! Where is the moon goddess? I demand to know where you have taken her! Unhand me, you louts! How dare you!
That peppy princess ought to pipe down. Are you the new boy? I suppose you want me to get your soul back so you can return home. Well, not until you march those wooden legs up to the Moon Bear King's throne room and fetch me his magic scissors. You can do it. After all, you are a very special boy.
Deja Mew. How many very special boys are we up to now?
Yin Yang. You can keep him company.
Whoop-de-doo. We get to go to the throne room to find Calibrus. Won't this be fun?
Yes, Yin Yang, this will be fun. Also, who is that strange princess being carted off? I'm sure we'll find out in time. I love the way she kind of flies off there as if she was carried by a rig.
Welcome to the Tower of Tribulations. But don't let a cheerful name like that fool you. This place is dripping with nasty traps. My cat's senses are tingling. Something's fishy about that armor.
Indeed it is. Check it out to get another head.
See? You never know where a head might be hiding. Head pods, dreadnoughts, parking lots. Check everywhere. They don't say, get your head out of the gutter for nothing.
I don't think that's what that phrase means, Yin Yang, but we'll let that slide. Now, as we pass up this giant spiral staircase, dodge the rats and you will see portraits on the wall. Make sure to investigate every single one. There will be 12 of them. You need to find all of them for a head later in the stage. There's our third. And you can keep, memory of these portraits. These characters will play into the story later. Some of them, it's going to take a long time to get to. And a shield on the wall. Check it out for one of those wooden puppets. And make sure to click it twice, because he has 2 different animations you have to see to get credit for it. Does not seem happy that we revealed his hiding spot. A few more rats, a few more portraits, and some barrels, with another one of the wooden puppets hanging out inside. We're getting close to the end here, I want to say. Yep, double bats. Dodge them there. Shouldn't be too much longer to go, assuming nothing gets in our way. And spoke too soon.
We have a spherical situation. Duck for your life before we get bowled over.
Yep, simple little control there, ducking.
Peace?
And now, follow that rolling ball of death. Yep, after dodging it, we want to follow it all the way back to the bottom of the tower. Ooh, almost fell in a little hole there. There's a very good reason for this, and it will be revealed shortly. Just got a little longer to go. And there it goes. It crashes and breaks apart into 100 sparkle. Up to 8 lives, not too bad. Ooh, but we've got new obstacles when we go back up. Spiked barrels trying to take us out. Just jump over them, they're not too hard to avoid. And it shouldn't take us too long to get back up there since, it's a pretty short path. Let's see, past that portrait. I love that the rats are hiding because, the spike barrels are dangerous to them too. They're not going to stick around. And we've made it back up to where we were. Keep checking all those portraits. They will be important.
Abracadabra!
And now this is kind of cool. Random thing here, some axes. You don't have to check them out, but kind of fun if you do. I love the little things they toss in there. There's no real point to it, but they're enjoyable. Now that was our 12th portrait. The reason why won't be apparent just yet, but for now we've got another head action. The spider one. Hope you're not afraid of spiders, because this is going to be a little creepy. Yeah, that's disturbing. And she carries away to a bonus stage. Every stage has a bonus stage hidden in it somewhere.
Kotaro had been snatched away by an enormous arachnid. But why didn't he end up as dinner? Perhaps the spider mistook Kotaro for one of her 10,000 children. Hard to keep track of all those little darlings, even with 8 eyes. The point of these is to grab every moon sparkle in a limited amount of time.
There's different mechanics for how you move around. Here we have to bounce on the backs of giant spiders. Just make sure not to take too long, because there is a hidden time meter that will run out if you're not quick enough. Luckily, this first stage isn't too hard. Just bounce around. We're in the final section here. Just grab a few more. And there we go. Whenever you see that, it means you're running out of time. Luckily, we're done! You have to make sure to clear every stage. If you fall or run out of time, that's the only chance you get. You have to try again later. Try to get them the first time, just to save yourself a little hassle. But now, we move onward. We see a big portrait. Before we can click it, though, a bunch of mice come at us. Now, if you clicked all 12 leading up to here, something fun will happen. A whole bunch of bananas and a new head. In fact, I love him just slipping on all the banana peels. Very comical. And another suit of armor. Is there something going on with this one too? Yes. It's another one of those wooden puppets. Now here's one that's easy to miss. Make sure to click that hole he crawled into as well. To see he found a rat. Yep. Only hiding place, or the hiding place is only big enough for one of them. Now that we've done that, let's move on.
Magnificent, Kotaro. There's the entrance to the throne room. No one has ever made it this far.
Well then, shouldn't be too hard now that we've got this far.
Stop this madness! I command you in the name of the sun! Oh my gosh, are you crazy? Do you know who I am? Dad's gonna have a supernova!
Wait, sire. What if she's right? The sun does have a burning temper.
Ha! What can he do? I've got his precious daughter!
Well, of course you do, sire. And even if you didn't, your majesticalness is more than enough to eclipse the sun.
I've prepared a very special room for you, my dear princess. So please, I insist, take a long rest.
Meow. What luck. He's left Calibras unattended for once. Kotaro, you are one lucky person.
There before our hero towered the most impressive pair of scissors you've ever seen. The legendary Calibras. But Calibras was bound fast by vile vines, the twisted offspring of the Moonbear King's twisted magic.
Kotaro, meet Calibras. Calibras is a cut above your average scissors. He used to serve the Moon Goddess.
Step forward, boy, and take your destiny in hand.
Now that's a shock. I mean, an honor. Don't you see? Calibras has chosen you.
And so Kotaro's fortunes were starting to look up. After all, he was now the proud owner of a pair of enchanted scissors. Still, it wasn't all good luck. Remember, Calibras belonged to the Moonbear King.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen from stealing his scissors.
And the boy's first challenge was to extricate himself from the booby trap he'd just set off.
You know what?
Now this is a fine mess. You'd better use Calibras to cut a way out of here.
This seems like the perfect time to end our first episode. Kotaro has begun his absolutely crazy journey, and it's only gonna get weirder from here. We're trying to break out of the Moonbear King's castle and eventually return home. Now, armed with a motley assortment of heads and a pair of magical scissors, hopefully we'll be able to cut our way out of this mess. But that's gonna start happening next time. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.